Welcome, everybody, to the 10th episode of the Four Roads Out of Warba podcast. It is quite amazing that we've managed to make it this far. And unfortunately, this is the first episode where all four of us are not here at the same time. So we'll have to just know that Tippy Tater Alligator is with us in spirit. And hopefully he will rise from the dead for next week. But we won't focus on those that aren't here. We'll focus on those that are. Let's introduce our three stooges for the week. Introducing first, playing the role of Larry, is Doodoo. Playing the role of Mo this week is me, Bort. And playing the role of Shemp is Bob.
Shemp? You're the worst stooge, thank you. I thought you were going with Curly because I was getting fat, so I thought you were going to go with that one.
I thought if anything, I'd be Curly.
Hey, maybe Matt is just playing, or Tippy's just playing a prank on us, and he's going to show up randomly.
Well, that would sure be awesome because he's playing one heck of a prank on me right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our 10th episode, and before we get into our superly awesome subject of the week, we'll just run around, see what's going on, and take her from there. Doodoo, what is up with you?
Well, thank you. Working part-time, driving taxi up here in good old Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
How's it going?
Good. Busy.
Yeah.
Good busy, though. And I'm tired.
Today.
I'm tired, and it's a good tired, you know. I had 22 today in 9 hours. The most I had was Monday. I had 27 in 12 hours. So it was good. It was a good week. And the thing that I'm happy about is that my chest is being okay with it. I have some twinges and pain, but nothing I can't get through. And yeah, actually things are going super, super good.
For those who don't know, Andrew Doodoo has a heart condition, so he gets to do chest hurts once in a while.
A little bit.
Well, at least he has a heart. And speaking of that, how are you doing there, Bob?
Oh!
I'm doing well, thank you, Bort. Yeah, I've been busy. I gonna be retiring from my old job here in about a week and a half now. Me and my wife and kids are making a pretty big move. We're moving up north. She's going to go to work, and I'm going to stay at home and take care of the kids and school them. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of humongous changes, but looking forward to it. So I had just a lot of planning with that. And then also there last Sunday, me and Bort had our softball championship games, which we didn't win. But besides that, nothing else going on.
That was a brutal softball game. My God.
I think we got 3 hits. We just couldn't hit.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 hits, all of them singles. It was just ridiculous.
I need to get COVID again.
Yeah.
That's the only week I played good.
Yes, dude.
Are you two going to play next year? And if so, are you going to play in a league where they don't have that stupid home run rule?
Yes, we are playing. Yeah, yes, I am playing next year.
I will be there. So, yeah,
I'm gonna
Bort
clip
doesn't think
this
I'm going
out.
to be there because it's like hours away for me. But my kids will want to see your kids anyways. So, it'll be a good excuse for me to get down here and the kids can come see their cousins. So I will be there.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
So like you said, he's retired from softball, and I will keep playing, but it's going to be in the same league.
It'll be in that stupid home run thing.
Yes, same one. It's never bothered me.
Well,
not me either until 1 week when I actually had COVID and I actually can hit the ball.
Bob had COVID, and you were on your first day off quarantine, and you hit 3 home runs, all of them for outs.
Oh. And you can do one per game per team, right?
Yes, and we'd already hit the first one, and then Bob just kept popping them out after that.
Well, Dudu was down for the week, staying over at Bort's place, and he was there watching. And yeah, it was rough. Every at bat or every time I go sit down with him, and he thought I was gonna die. Oh, I was so tired. That COVID just drains you.
Hey, you weren't any worse than our second baseman was this week.
Oh, he was a little tired too. Well, he was on like his seasick patches because he was on a cruise or something, and then he got off of them and he was just exhausted.
It's happening withdrawals. It was horrible, man.
Yeah, but it was a fun year. We did good. Made it to the semifinals. We lost in the number 1 seeded team, so it's kind of.
They lost to the number 7 seed in the championship game.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
they didn't put a lot out. They just were good at hitting them where we weren't, and we were playing fielding just fine. We just couldn't hit. If we would have hit, we would have beat them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it was a frustrating week, but that's how we end every softball season. It seems like is with just a complete bad game like this. Gives you a bad taste in your mouth for 6 months, and
then you're back there doing it again the next year.
Or retiring, like some people.
Just wait. I'll be so good next year. It'll be weird.
Well, just think of it this way too, Bort. He's going to be so bored up there that he'll look forward to it.
Yeah,
he'll be an hour and a half early.
Well, if you want my honest opinion on it, it's not going to be him being bored. It's going to be a Shining type situation where he goes nuts trapped in that little house with all his family.
To kill my family.
Here's Johnny.
Such a positive.
Am I joking or am I serious?
Okay.
I do have a couple axes in the garage, so we're good there.
Oh, you haven't given them away?
All right, I guess we should keep. What was that?
I said you haven't given them away yet?
No, not yet. I gave a couple away, but I still have a few things left yet.
I hear somebody's getting a snowblower.
Yes.
He's getting a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I keep calling him every 10 minutes. Hey, you want this? You want this?
Yeah, man. My garage is going to be packed with the stuff here.
I don't have a garage anymore, so you're going to have to take all this stuff that will fit in the dumpster.
Who's going to take Grandpa's deer head?
Oh, that's coming with.
Oh, you going to have room up there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's coming with.
Otherwise, I volunteered Port's garage.
Okay. Nope, I'm going to bring it up there and find a good place for it.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right, I suppose we should go with the
podcast.
I'm not too worried about this. I've been hoping to get more. I mean, one of my ideas was to try to do a show about nothing, where we just sit down and talk for an hour and see what happens. And this is one of those times we're actually achieving it without trying. So.
Well, let's keep going.
I'm gonna have to hold you two. Hold on, I got a kid crying inside. I gotta make sure he's not dead.
That's fine.
Well, that's how you kill him.
So yeah, really. So, you think that's a good idea for next week?
Yeah, yeah. But we'll talk about that later because we're still live. I'm not editing any of this.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe I'd tell about it now. Since,
Why not? Go ahead.
Yeah. While
Mute him. But go ahead. I'll mute him. Go ahead.
Okay. It is my turn to host next week, and we're gonna do something a little different. I have a pretty large background in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Used to play back in the early 90s, like twice a week. Me and some friends of mine would even, don't unmute them, Bort, just let them be. That'd be a good prank.
Yeah.
So anyways, we would go to a big campsite, and we would, kind of dress up a little bit and make foam weapons and have big battles, and there'd be prizes for the winners and stuff. And so anyways, my idea next week for my turn is going to be, I am going to be running a Dungeon and Dragon type game with Bort, Tippy, and Bob as the players. And it's going to take a little bit to set up, as far as we got to roll characters and weapons and all that. And I don't want to just do it and then run into the game. I want to do it as we progress through the game. So, it'll be a little bit of setup, but it'll be fun. And then, there'll be quests and adventures, and a good time.
That sounds interesting. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. But that's next week when we're going to have a lot of fun. Today, we got serious business. This week, we're going to talk about the best pranks that we have ever played or had played on us, or I don't know, just something to kill the next few minutes, I guess. It's ended up being a hard subject for me. I mean, a lot of my good pranks and my good material have been used over the past few weeks, like my the prank where I gave my sister-in-law, Bob's wife, a skateboard for Christmas and played it totally serious, or the year I gave Tippy Final Fantasy VII for Christmas and then duct taped it numerous times. So I lost a lot of my good pranks just through stories we've already told. Bob lost a good one in the toenail story.
Yeah.
So this ended up being a little harder for me than I thought, but I got a couple, so we'll see how they are. Was it tricky for you guys, or did you do okay?
Yeah, for me, it was easy. I don't mean to be whatever, but I got a lot of stories and a lot of stuff to talk about.
For me, it wasn't hard on material. It was just trying to find good ones. I've done, shocking. I've done a lot of stupid things that haven't worked out, but actually get one that are kind of funny. It took me a while, and I came up with two funny ones that I did, but then one that I had done on me that really got me good, that I'm gonna definitely share that one, because I think one of our few listeners actually pulled that one on me, so definitely have to say that story.
Trying to figure out what the story is now, based on our...
You'll know when I start talking. You'll know it.
I have two that I've done to other people, and I have one that has been done to me, and it's by a listener who listens to every podcast, and I hope she laughs so hard that boogers come flying out her nose when she hears it.
And I have a bunch of good pranks that I've know that have happened to people, but I wasn't directly involved in them, but I couldn't include those because they weren't part of the deal. So
okay, well, let's see here. Let's go in honor. Let's roll a four-sided die to see who gets to go first.
Okay.
And if it comes up as a 4, it'll be no one.
You should be able to have it cited on there, don't you?
So let's see who gets to go first. It's going to be
Where are
4.
the numbers?
Oh, I'll go. Okay, fine. We'll go alphabetical order. Let's see.
Regarding what?
Bob, Court, Doodoo. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, the roll is a 3. Doodoo, you are up.
All right. I got 2 I'm going to tell. One really quick one and then the one that happened to me. As most everybody knows, I drove truck. And
Are we doing them all? Are we doing them all together? Or are we doing?
I say we just go around.
Are we
One at a time.
Because you said you're doing 2. Are you doing 2?
I got 4 of them I'm going to tell.
And then you have another one and another one?
I got 4 I'm going to tell. So I'm going to do a really quick one and then my third one.
One prank at a time. Okay.
All right. So
okay. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I kind of broke the rules
Okay.
a little bit for that. I apologize. But me and about 3 other guys were out in Fontana, California at a truck stop. And 2 of my buddies ended up getting into a argument, let's say. And they were mad at each other. And it didn't come to fisticuffs or nothing, but one of them, when you own a truck, you usually try to keep a few spare parts on you because if you break down, you don't want to buy them on the road because they're more expensive. So you have like an alternator and stuff, and then you have stuff you can to help you do maintenance on your truck. So like, I always carried a grease gun with me, so I could grease the truck and stuff while I was on the road if I had time. Anyways, two buddies of mine were arguing. So the one buddy went into the truck stop to go to the bathroom. The other buddy of mine got his grease gun out, went and put grease behind his door handle of his truck. So when guy went to open up his door, there's grease all over his fingertips, but he didn't stop there. He climbed up and put a thin bead of grease on the windshield wiper. So when the guy turned his windshield wiper on, it was just grease all over his windshield. I laughed about that one. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But my Bob.
I know.
My third prank. Okay, number 3. I forget what it was for, but I had asked these 2, my Bort and Bob.
Oh.
So you want me to keep going?
I don't know. The last thing I needed was to have to edit this episode tonight with how busy I am. And of course, Bob's pulled out his dial-up modem again. And
Can you? My number 3 prank is these 2's father is dating a girl who is a big Minnesota Vikings fan. And I had to go somewhere. I don't remember what it was for, but I had asked her to stop over and feed my turtle. And she kept sending me little like text messages with like little Vikings things on it and stuff. And when I got home for a good 3 weeks afterwards, I kept finding Minnesota Vikings stickers in all my cupboards and under my sink and in my bathroom and under my pillow, and she put them everywhere. Got me pretty good.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Okay, good mood, good mood. I'm in a good mood.
Good.
You have no reason not to be in a good mood.
Well, with my
Is it
beautiful
Bort? Bob, you're up.
Okay. All right, so I will do the one that I got pulled on me. My dear sweet mother was on a vacation in California. And when she came back, she called me. And this isn't too long of a story, so I'll kind of shoot too. But so she started going off of how she went to the Price is Right. And that's pretty cool, Mom. And then she got chosen to go up for the Price is Right. I'm like, wow, that's great. And then she won. And she still had me hooked. And I'm like, that's fantastic, Mom. And then she won the big wheel and got the $1,000 thing on the wheel. Still had me. And then she did the Showcase Showdown, and she had her bid within $1,000, so she won both of them. And she had me hook, line, and sinker through the whole thing. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" And then Fox goes, "No, I'm kidding." I'm like, ah! But she did such a good job. She had me roped in the whole way, and everything was building and building and building. And I'm like, "This is fantastic." I didn't even think for a second that she was making it up.
She had me too, and apparently her sister was sitting right by the phone listening to us, cracking up the entire time.
Oh, yes. She got me good. So,
Funny.
yeah. And then, yeah, I'll just do a super quick one because I thought of it when Duda was talking. Super quick. When I was like 10 or 11 years old, there was this really annoying kid that lived in the area, and he always wanted to hang out and play. So I would trick him, and he'd come over to my house, and I tricked him to think I had a twin brother named Prescott. So he'd come over and talk to me, and I'd say, "Oh, no, I'm Prescott. Where's Bob?" "Well, I'll go get him." So I'd go inside, I'd put a different shirt on, come back out. "Hey, what's going on? Where'd Prescott go?" He's inside doing something. And I'd do that with him, and then finally, I don't know if he thought he was that stupid where he just like, "Well, Prescott and Bob don't like me," and he just left, or if he got the hint and took off. But yeah, just constantly, "I can't play because me and Prescott are doing this." So.
Oh, funny.
Yep. All right. Yep. That's my first one.
Wow.
Yes. What about you, Bort?
I don't know if this is. I'll do the short one too. I don't know if this is a prank or not, but because I honestly don't know where he was coming from. But I'm just going to tell this story quick because I love stories. There was one time I was sitting at my father's house in Grand Rapids, and all of a sudden there was a knock at the door. Dad got up and he went to the door, and I'm just sitting there on the couch. And at the door were two Mormons. And the Mormons introduced themselves. They go, "Hello, I am Deacon Franklin, and this here is Deacon Thomas. And we want to tell you," and right then Dad cut in and said, "Whoa, you guys got the same first name."
Oh, they're perfect.
Oh, I could see him doing that.
I don't know if it's technically a prank or not, but
Who cares?
Well,
It's funny.
if he was messing with them, yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's something Grandpa would have pulled right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He had a shotgun over his shoulder.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. You two have the first same name. I remember you'd always tell me this story, Dad would, about when you guys would be at the farm and you were a little kid, and they'd go, when you were in bed, "You better get to bed, Santa's coming, Christmas here." Then they go, "Ho, ho, ho," and slam the door, and then you come running, and you just miss them.
Yeah. I'd get out there, come running to the door, and your dad would be saying, "Oh, you just missed him. He went through the door." So I'd try to open the door, and he'd have like his foot or something in front of it. Oh yeah, funny.
Funny.
Well, my first prank was I really wish Tippy was here because this was a prank that I kind of pulled on him. The year was 1996, and Tippy lived up in Crosby, Ironton area, and we were up in Grand Rapids, and that was in the era of long distance phone calls.
What?
Familiar with this concept where you have to pay a dime every minute you're on the phone? So needless to say, we didn't get to talk to Tippy very much. So we realized that we could be writing letters back and forth to each other and sharing our basically wacky pro wrestling stories from our made-up pro wrestling leagues and stuff that's happening in WWF and WCW, and we'd write these big long letters and send them back and forth to each other. Well, one day, we went up to my dad's friend's cabin, and I was writing him one of these letters, and I was just sitting outside, and there was a big mud puddle out there. And so I did had a little bit of room on the bottom of the page, so I went and stuck my finger in this mud puddle, and right on the bottom of the page, I smeared the mud on it. And I go, here's a sample of the mud from the area we're at. And then that ended that page, and I flipped it over, and on the top line of the back page, I go, actually, it was a sample from the outhouse.
Didn't you smell it and rub his face in it and stuff?
You want me to walk all over your stories?
I thought your prank was that, and then I didn't know about the repercussions. You go ahead and tell the end of it.
Yes, well, Bob already spoiled it as he's spoiling everything in life. You're
a little vindictive, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, so long story short, when he saw him next, I said, "What'd you think of that?" And he goes, "I got a little scared because I was sniffing it and rubbing my face on it." You're rubbing your face on.
I know. Why would you do that in the first place?
But yeah, that was my story.
Nice.
I'm glad how did I tell it?
A lot better than I did, so So yeah, that was that.
Good one.
Yep.
I remember when you did that. I remember seeing the paper with the smear on the bottom of it. Well, I remember I'd write notes too with Tippy, and you'd throw it in there. He'd send them up to Grand Rapids. We'd be up our dad's. So I remember you got yours. It was a nice one. I get mine. Sorry, Bob, I didn't have time to write you this week. Write you next week. I'm like, but I was a dorky younger cousin, so.
Yeah, then you started liking the heavy metal music, and it changed.
Yeah.
Then soon after, we discovered email.
Yeah. And then did our cool wrestling and newsletters.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Doodoo, what do you got next?
Well, I do believe that I remember a time when Bort, Bob, and myself would golf quite often. And I believe, and you may correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we were on that golf course out on 55 between the refinery and Hastings.
Oh, Emerald Greens?
Okay.
It was it's Afton Alps, I believe.
Okay. Well, we were at this golf course.
You just want to tell the whole story?
Oh, come on now. My God. Maybe we should stop and you guys can just fight it out.
Well, you left me open there, so I had to say that.
All right. So, anyways, this is my story. You both.
You know, we could fight through the computer screens and see whose connection lasts longest. Oh, wait, I already won.
Do you think you guys can suck it up enough or let me you get through my story?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I've been perfectly civil.
All right. So, anyways, we're golfing at the African Alps, Emerald Pines hybrid of a golf course, and me and Bort happened to notice that young Bob went into a porta potty crapper thing, and we got in our golf cart, and I said, "Come on!" So we got in the golf cart. We went and pulled up close to it, shut it off, and pushed it in front of the door. So when young Bob got done, he went to open the door, couldn't get out.
Yeah. Well, everything I felt trying to get out of there right into the door. At least you didn't knock it over.
Yeah, that's true.
We got a picture of that somewhere. I just I should have thought and had it pulled up. I don't know if I have a copy saved of it.
Okay. I have a copy in my head. With his arm sticking
the door right here.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bob, what do you got?
All right, my next one. It was so my beautiful wife was. I think it was when I was working weird shifts, so she was sleeping, I was awake. So I snuck up in the middle of the night and I grabbed her cell phone. I'm like, I'm gonna have some fun here. So first of all, you got to change backgrounds, all that normal stuff. But I wanted to take it a little bit of a step further. So I went into the part of the phone where you can exchange words for other words. So I put, whenever she typed I, it would type you. Stuff like that. So it was really messing with her. But then I'd go a step further and I'd change like the spelling of it. So then if she typed in you, Y-O-U, it would spell E-W-E, like the bird. And then I put, instead of but, like I got to go here, but I have to do this first. I changed that to tushy. And then every time she'd write Walmart, it put like the Grand Canyon on there because she'd type, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to the Grand Canyon because she always types that to me. And just stuff like that to really mess her, drove her nuts. And then the last thing I did, I was most proud of this. Their ringtones are pretty boring on these phones. So I decided to write new ringtones for her. And like the one for me, it was this big, long, like power ballad, like a minute long, just sing, he is my husband. I love him so much. And it's like that. So every time I called her, that played, and I put it where she could not silence it either. So she would always silence her phone, but she would be like in a dressing room at a store, and I would call her, and all of a sudden her phone starts singing. So, and I changed like her voicemail one. Everything was changed to just original power ballad songs that I wrote for and metal songs and stuff. So I was pretty proud of that one. And she didn't have any idea about the writing thing for probably a good month. And she's like, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. Every time I try to like I love you, it says you love you, like EWE, and like I love a bird type of thing. So I was pretty proud of that one.
Surprised you're still married.
Oh, I'm surprised that in many ways, yes. But what do you got, Bort?
Well, for my second story, our grandmother, as she got older, started to need to use a cane to walk with. And she had one of those cool wooden canes with the rounded handle at the top. And I loved playing with that cane. Grandma was sitting down, I'd grab it and walk around with it, and just kind of, I'm a fiddler by nature, as you see when I'm just holding a pen, so I'd just kind of do that, with the cane, whenever it was available. And this went on most of my teenage years, because Grandma had a cane for a really long time. Well, I believe it was in 2001. They would have been celebrating. We had went up north to Warba to the American Legion to celebrate. I think it was Grandpa's 80th birthday. It's 2001. So yeah. And they had the party for him, and then that night they had a bonfire for sort of to wrap the party up. And we're all sitting around this bonfire, and I'm sitting next to Grandma, and and of course she put her cane down, so I'm sitting there playing with the cane. And Grandma, I'd been fooling around with it, for quite a while, and then just out of nowhere she goes, "Now, Jason, don't you get that cane too close to that fire." As if I'm gonna somehow set her cane on fire. I looked at her, I took the cane, and I chucked that thing straight through the fire to the other side. And her face went, lost her prized cane.
Which one was that? Because I remember she always had that big, heavy metal one with like the 4 prongs. But it wasn't that one, was it?
That was when her hip was more bad. This was just more for general day-to-day use, was when she would use the wooden ones.
Grandma wooden ones at one point.
What was that, Andrew? Or Doo-Doo?
Her and grandfather both had wooden ones at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mom's got Grandpa's in the back of the van, I think, still. But
was that
give it to you, let you play with it.
Was that bonfire at Pagagma Lake at our aunt's there?
Oh, I think it was at the Legion.
That would have been for their
their 50th?
No,
50th was at the Legion too.
Oh, one of those times, yeah.
Yeah, the 50th was, they were married in
May 1st, 1947.
47, yeah. So.
But that was at the Legion, but I thought for sure Grandpa's party was at the Legion as well for his 80th.
Yeah.
We'd had a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we used to, any reason to make potato salad and have a party.
Potato salad in the cooler.
Yep.
Grandma.
There was one other time.
Now, if I would have did that, dude, I would have got my hair washed.
Yep.
Our grandma would never, when she got mad at us, she would never swear or hit us or anything. She'd wash her hair. She'd bend you over the sink and just use like this part of your finger and just.
She had nails.
It was bad.
But
Well, what were you gonna say?
look at how beautiful this hair is. So it worked.
Beautiful. What were you gonna say, Bort? There was another time. What?
Yeah, there is another. This isn't a prank, but it would have been a great one. It was you mentioned the potato salad in the cooler, and Bob and my other grandma was down visiting for Thanksgiving, and this would have been a great prank, but we had a whole bunch of folding chairs that were laid up against the wall after the morning after Thanksgiving, and I was standing by them, and all of a sudden I actually fainted. I had that problem when I was younger, and I fainted and fell into these chairs, knocked them everywhere, and then Grandma's like, Jason, what are you doing? Just upset about it. And then I'm like,
pulsing on the ground.
And I'm like, yeah. What happened? And she's like, oh, Jason!
If that would have happened to Dudu, she would have hit him with her cane. Get up!
Oh, yeah.
This is the other grandma. So.
No, your grandma would have too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a prank, but could have been a good one.
Very good one.
Okay, Dudu, you're up, actually.
Yay, me. In the late 90s, I drove a dump truck for a buddy of mine. And when we weren't digging basements for houses and putting septic systems in, he would lease the truck out and me to other companies that needed trucks. So I was in St. Paul, and we were hauling dirt for some big office building. I don't remember now. But most of the time when you're doing that, you can't stop to eat. You can't stop to potty or nothing. I mean, you were their truck and their hire, and whatever they wanted to do, and 9 times out of 10, you just sat in that seat and drove. Well, this was a weird company because they actually gave us a half hour for lunch. So I think I was coming back from the dump site, and I had stopped and got me and a couple other buddies that I know food, and and I came back to the job site, and one of the buddies, he had his dump truck parked right here, and he had his head down on the steering wheel like this. So he had his truck here, so I pulled my truck up right nose to nose with him, and I laid on the air horn, and I went, ah! And his head popped up, and I thought I gave him a heart attack, but you could hear him screaming in his truck.
Yeah, I did something similar to that when I worked at the Mall of America at night. At security, we'd drive around and look for people who were like staying in the ramp at night. And they're young kids, probably 17, 18 years old. They're in the front of their car, they're making out and stuff. So they didn't know we were coming, so we slowly drove up right in front of them. And then, we're laughing.
Funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two. I thought of one that's really good, but I have a really funny one or a really mean one. What would you guys prefer?
Well, I'm hoping your mean one is about what I've got in my head that you did one time.
No, it won't involve you at all.
No,
so,
not me.
I'll tell the funny one. If we have time, I'll go to the mean one. So, all right. So, I mentioned earlier I'm retiring. Well, I can mention it now because I'm going to be retiring soon. But I'm a police officer. Been doing it for a long time. And one. Oh, I know that's one quitting. No, so one of my buddies, he got hired on. He was maybe on for 6 months, and I started calling him and leaving him prank voicemails as Batman.
I remember that.
So probably for a good month, he would come into work, and there'd be a voicemail from Batman from a blocked number. And he had no clue who it was. It'd be, I'd call, Officer Music, this is Batman. I need somebody stole the Batmobile. Help. And he had no clue who it was from. And he was asking everybody, hey, dude, are you Batman? And they'd look at him going, what are you talking about? And he asked me probably 2 or 3 times, and I was able to play it off. But then finally, he caught me in a hallway. We were just passing. He goes, oh, hey, Bob, are you Batman? And I stopped and and I lost it. And that was it. But I had a good about 1 month run. But I tried to do it to somebody else who started, but I called them and I forgot to block the number, so it said my name on there. So I screwed that one up, but I got my buddy really good for about a month. I was pretty proud of that one. And I always thought I'd do a halfway decent Pete Holmes impersonation of Batman. I think I do a decent one there.
It's not a halfway decent. It's a good Batman impersonation. Very good.
So, yeah, that was my proudest one, I think.
No.
All right, what do you got, Bort?
What the heck? Oh, jeez, I thought I was going nuts. I mean, this little kid's voice. I'm like, where?
Like I said, I had a hard time with this. Just a couple other just quick ones. I worked at Target in the back room for many years, and the guys and I were always playing pranks, especially on, one of our bosses got scared really easily. So, they would stuff, all 110-pound me in a box and lead her over, and I'd jump out of the box and terrify her, and hang like giant rats that they would sell for Halloween. We would hang them from the rafters and tell her to go up the ladder and scare her. And we had one guy that climbed into the box compactor.
That's a great idea.
And scared her by jumping out that way.
Your reaction wasn't to shut it and turn it on.
Yeah, so we had a ton of pranks we played like that over the years, but I couldn't really think of one that was very even story worthy more than 4 seconds. And this was the first prank, one I'm telling here, that I thought up that I thought was worth telling. And the basic gist of it was, after Doo had some heart problems, he needed to do some follow-up checkups at the hospital. And this one day, he had a day's worth of tests at the hospital. And then what was supposed to happen is Bob was supposed to pick him up and bring him home because he couldn't drive.
You brought me, right?
Hmm?
You brought me there.
No, Bob brought you to the hospital, too. He was going to stay with you and drive you home.
Okay, all right. Yep,
but
sorry.
Then in the middle of the day, he got called into work, or the test went too long and he couldn't make it. So Doo didn't have a ride home. So Bob calls me at work. I work till 4:30 every day, and he says, "Hey, I need you to pick up Doo." His appointment's done at 4. And, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh, the hospital's only a mile away. I'm sure I can get out of work, no problem. So I get out of work and I go and pick Doo up from the hospital, and we drive from St. Paul, and we drive all the way to River Falls. And Doo says, "Hey, let me stop at a gas station to get Mountain Dew or something." And so right when he does that, we're just sitting there in the parking lot, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from Bob. It's been about a half an hour, so it's about 4:30 at the time, and I answer the phone, and Bob goes, "Hey, goes, how are you doing?" I'm good. Goes, you remember to pick Doo up from the hospital? And I just sat there for a second. I'm like,
oh, you jerk.
And then I hung up on him. And Doo and I just sat there laughing.
We laughed.
Oh.
We waited a good 2 or 3 minutes before we called Bob back, and then I was like, yeah, he's right here in the car with me.
Oh.
And, yeah, I can't say what words Bob spoke to me after. We're a family-friendly podcast here at Warba. But yeah, that was that adventure.
I remember that now.
Yeah, I do too. It's hilarious.
It was.
Yes,
It was funny. It was very.
It was funny, yeah. Now it is.
So yeah.
funny.
Thanks for the ride, by the way.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem.
Hey, dude, what one were you thinking of?
The one I was thinking of was the one where you had lottery tickets.
What time? No, I've done those numerous times.
Our grandmother.
Hers was good, but the other time I used them was more cruel.
I don't care. Whatever you want to do. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, well, this is a separate one, but yeah, just as a quick story, my buddy, my old roommate, he was down on his luck. His truck, he's having some money issues. His truck broke down, so he was stuck right there. And he's like, I'm trying to fix my truck. I'm trying to take care of this. I'm trying to, get rent, all that stuff. Just a lot of stuff going on because, we're young. And so I decided that's the perfect time to give him a fake $10,000 winner's scratch off. So I give it to him, scratches it off. He's like, yes, this solves all my problems. I'm so happy. Yeah, why don't you read the back, dude? Because on the back, you start reading it. This is how you redeem it. You can redeem this at the North Pole. You can only redeem this on February 30th. Blah, blah. And he looks at me and he goes, dude. So yeah, that was pretty bad time to do it, but it was funny. What?
I just remember you giving Grandma, like, you gave her more than one, and she kept scratching them off and winning. Oh yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. What, you had a story that you wanted to say? Mm-hmm. Do you guys mind if Brian says a prank?
No, that's fine.
Not at all.
Okay.
A story.
Oh, a story. Okay.
Oh boy. So one of my classmates, stats had bought like 2 or 15 lottery tickets. Every one of them, he only got like $3, and 4 of them were 0. And then the last fourth one he scratched off, and one of my splits and my students in my classroom had dad, scratched off lottery tickets a bunch, and his fourth of the last one, he won the lottery, so yeah.
Oh, he won the lottery?
Mm-hmm.
How much did he win? A lot of money?
How much?
$50,000.
$50,000?
Holy man.
Well, who is his friend? And let's go over to your house.
Yeah.
How come you're not friends with that kid?
I am friends with that kid.
Did he come to the birthday party?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you should have paid for all the stuff then.
Good story there.
Thank you for the story, Brian.
Absolutely, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also remember some good ones I'd play on Grandma when we'd go into the apartment, how I'd always call her on the phone from the lobby to get let in, and I'd say, pizza's here and things like that. And Grandma would have no clue and be like, kids must have ordered pizza, and buzz me in anyways.
Yeah. One of my favorite deals is one Christmas, Grandpa was opening a present and he had a knife and he was using to cut it, and Grandma was over there opening hers and Grandpa was opening his, and all of a sudden you hear Grandpa go, "Oh!" And Grandma goes, "What?" And he goes, "Nothing." Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's fun. Yep, I can picture that in my head right now too.
Hey, Bob, how about the tape measure story?
Oh, stop it. I want to say as a stupid kid, but I don't know. I was probably 15 when he did this. I don't remember how old I was. I was younger. I wanted to see how tall he was.
You were measuring everybody.
Yeah, I was measuring everybody. So then I go to Grandpa, like, our Grandpa, you want to hold this top part here? I'm going to measure this down to the floor and see how tall you are. So I give it to him, and I start going down, and he starts pulling it up. So by the time I get down, I'm like, Grandpa, you're 8 feet tall. I was telling everybody how Grandpa was 8 feet tall. He
One-
got me good.
One, I get out of school and mom would ship me to live with them for those summers. And yeah, grandpa, every night after supper, grandma would do the dishes and I'd make us pudding. And then we'd eat the pudding while we watched Wheel of Fortune. Well, one night after Wheel of Fortune, grandpa goes, well, I'm going to go to bed. He gets up and he goes in the bathroom and he usually put his teeth in his cup and stuff and took his socks off. And, well, one day he come out and he goes, Andrew, me. He goes, there's a ghost in your room. So I said, really? And he goes, yeah. So I went in my room and grandma had a windsock, a white one with two big eyes, and he had hung it up in the window. You know, looked like a ghost.
Yeah, good old grandpa.
There's another one he did. My ex-wife is a huge lover of bunny rabbits, and she has often owned rabbits over the years. And when her and I were dating, we went to breakfast with Grandma and Grandpa, and Dudu was there, and Dad and a few other people, I'm sure. And she was telling Andrew about her rabbit. And Grandpa couldn't hear very well at the time. A lot of noise, and he was getting older. And he goes, Grandpa, did you hear that? She has a pet bunny rabbit. And he just smiles and goes, them's good eating.
And I bet your ex-wife is like,
Yep.
Yep. Growing up, he was always a good one too for taking one of your shoes and hiding it. So you'd go outside or something, and you'd only have one shoe or one glove, or.
When he stuffed stuff in your shoes too?
You would stuff stuff in your coat sleeve, so you go to put your coat in your hand when you go through.
Well, do I have time to tell my really mean one? I think this one's pretty clever.
You didn't tell it's not the one about giving the down on your luck friend a $10,000 off.
No, this one's much worse.
Okay.
So, it's when I used to work at a movie theater, and if the girl who was a recipient of this prank, she never found it was a prank. That's why it's so bad. She's probably watched this now. Now you can have some peace after like 20 years. I'm sorry, it was pretty mean. So me and my buddy didn't really get along with this girl too much. So at the end of the movie theater, you'd go in the concessionary, you'd take
costume king.
You'd go in there, you'd dig the popcorn out, you'd put the popcorn into a big bag, and you'd use it for the next day. So we found her name tag. And on the back of the name tag, it has the metal thing that will clip to the shirt. So we decided it would be a good idea to rip the metal part off and throw that away. And we threw her name tag in the popcorn. And we made sure she clean the popcorn out. So she's cleaning the popcorn out, and she finds her name tag without the metal back, and we're like, oh my god, do you think you gave that to a guest? So she was terrified that she fed a metal pin in somebody's popcorn, and we never told her that it was us. So that was pretty mean. Yeah. I have a bunch of dumb ones, but I don't have any other that I can really think of that stand out.
Well, from somebody that's had somebody swallow a gift that they've given them and how bad you feel, meaning your son, there's probably some person out there that swallowed something square and she saw the x-rays of it and she feels bad because it's hurt.
Yeah. But no, this is specified. We did not throw the actual metal thing in the popcorn. That went in the garbage. So,
yeah.
Yes.
That makes it okay then.
Well, it makes it much better. Nobody actually ate it, so that's good. So.
Well, I started the episode by calling Bob heartless.
And it is
We'll
proven.
end the episode by calling Bob heartless.
Yes, yes. But no, I like this one. I like it. You have good topics like this, Sport, that are a lot more like conversation ones. You're good at picking these.
I
It's
just
fun.
love stories. Stories are fun.
Yep,
Yep.
I do too.
And the laughing is
Yep.
a big part too.
Yep.
It's a shame Tippy wasn't able to make it tonight, and hopefully we debated whether to preempt to keep our 4-person rotation or have a guest host or just do it with the 3 of us. And this is what we decided for this week.
Well,
I was thinking.
we got to get one out there for our fans because
Plural?
we owe it to our fans.
I was wondering maybe next week we can maybe have him at least say one, and then we can maybe splice it in the episode after. By that I mean you, Bort. So
Yeah.
you take time out of your very lazy, not busy schedule to do it.
Yeah, I was looking, let's see here. I was making a list here before we started. What do I got to do tonight yet? Well, I still got to start packing for my trip. That starts tomorrow. I probably need to reserve a rental car now in case Tippy isn't able to make it for this weekend. And got to get the kids packed up or ready for this weekend.
What about just sitting on the couch doing nothing?
No, that's not on the agenda. Oh, yeah, and I got to edit a podcast now. I couldn't just throw it up because somebody decided to have internet issues again.
Well, I wanted to see my good face, so I was trying to make it for our fans. They don't deserve this camera; they deserve this one. But
well, they're only going to have a few weeks before they're ever able to see it again once you're living in Hinckley.
But it worked pretty good when we were in Hinckley with the computer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
Well, no.
bad a lot in Hinckley.
Quit whining. So, well, I thought this was a good one. So, thank you very much, Bort.
Thanks, Bort.
You're welcome, Dudu.
Oh my God. How old are we again? You two? Don't make me. Don't make
I can
me.
act like this. I'm the child of the group here, so I get to act like this.
What was that? I couldn't see you through the pixelation on your camera.
I would tell you, but it's a family-friendly podcast, so.
So you're the child of the group, but you have the most ancient technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was fun. Thanks for the laughs.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you that join us each and every week. We appreciate it. And, we have a lot of fun doing this. So thank you, and we will see you next week.